Hi there, my name is Caroline. I'm a physiotherapist and a yoga teacher, and today we're going to do a short, quite powerful, strong yoga flow, about 15-20 minutes-ish. I'm never very good with my timekeeping, but thereabouts. We're just going to get straight into a practice, reasonably dynamic, just to build a bit of strength, work into some flexibility, raise the temperature, raise the energy levels, and then just wind things down a little bit at the end. So let's just get started. So coming up to the top of your mat, we're going to get started straight into sun salutations, but always just taking a moment just to allow the mind to connect into the body. So feel your feet down on the floor, on the mat, spread out your toes. Press down firmly through the soles of the feet, so the feet muscles engage. Legs active, belly pulled in, Uddiyana Bandha, pelvic floor engaged, Mula Bandha lifting up, switching on those deepest core muscles. Shoulders back and down, arms nice and active by the side. Tuck your chin in, lengthen up through the back of the neck. And first of all, just taking a moment to feel all the activity that you've just switched on in your body, and also just connecting into your breath. And taking a little bit of control of the breath, so slowing it down a little. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And down, breathing down into the lower parts of the rib cage and the upper part of the abdomen if possible. So moving into sun salutation A now. On your inhale, reach your arms up. Exhaling into a forward fold. Just always moving gently for your first few movements. Inhale, halfway lift, looking up, flatten the back. Exhale, bend the knees, hands down, step, walk or jump back into your plank position, lowering down to chaturanga or the floor if you need. Inhaling, upward facing dog or cobra, and exhaling into downward dog for 5 breaths. And always just easing into your practice, and especially easing into the downward dog pose nice and gently. So maybe bending one knee then the other, stretching up and down on the toes. Take the hips from side to side, just whatever feels good in your body. Feel your way into your body. And long deep breaths, in through the nose, out through the nose. And coming forwards on your next inhale, so step or walk the feet towards the hands. Halfway lift, looking up, flatten the back. Exhaling into forward fold. Inhale, coming all the way up, reaching up. Exhaling, arms by the sides. And we'll take a sun salutation B. Bend the knees here. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhaling, dive down. Inhale, halfway lift, looking up, flatten the back. Exhale, hands down, step, walk or jump back to plank or chaturanga or to the floor. Inhaling, up dog or cobra. Exhaling to downward facing dog. Turn your left foot out on an angle. Step your right foot through to where the hands are, or just taking your time with that transition if you need. Inhaling up to warrior 1, exhaling hands down, stepping back into your plank, lowering down with control. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale to downward dog, and then the other side. Turn your right foot out, step your left foot forwards. Inhaling, reaching up, warrior 1 left side. Exhaling, hands down, stepping back, lowering down with control, elbows in by the sides. Inhaling up. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Always working to keep the breath steady and fully under control. If you ever are working, even in a strenuous yoga class, if you feel the breath is completely out of control, and you're panting and gasping and holding the breath, you really need to back off on the physical practice, because the breath really is the key, even in the stronger types of practice that we do. Okay, coming forward, so next inhale, step, walk or jump the feet towards the hands. Halfway lift, look up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bend the knees, rising up. Exhale, Samastitihi, back to the top again. Another one of those with a few little variations. Inhaling, Utkatasana. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands down, step, walk or jump back. This time we're going to hold our plank position for 5 breaths. So pushing back into the heels, legs really active, thighs engaged, pelvic floor switched on, belly drawn in, and also pushing up into the upper back. So don't let the chest sag down in between the shoulders, really rounding the upper back, protracting the shoulders. Last breath here. And then down through chaturanga or to the mat. Inhaling, upward facing dog. Exhaling, downward facing dog. Turn your left foot out, step your right foot forwards. Up into warrior one. We'll take an extra breath here. Really lunging down to that right knee, back leg nice and straight, pushing up into the arms. And then from here, exhale into warrior two. So right arm comes forward, left arm comes back. Check your arms are parallel to the floor, which mine weren't quite there, but I can see on the video that's a bit better. And then into reverse warrior, so bringing this left arm down, right hand turns, palm faces towards you, and reach up towards the ceiling. Keep lunging into that right knee. One more breath. And then we're going to roll over into a Parsvakonasana, extended side angle stretch. So elbow down to the knee, reaching up and overhead with the left arm. Steady breath. And then inhale to rise back up through that warrior two position again. Exhaling, arms down, step back and lower down with control. Chaturanga or to the mat. Inhaling, up dog or cobra. Exhale to downward dog, and then we'll do that on the other side. So right foot turns in, left foot steps forward. So a nice wide stance, big stance. Inhaling up to warrior one, taking an extra breath here. Warrior two, left arm comes forward, right arm comes back. Feel strong through the legs, belly firm, arms strong. Then the right arm comes down, left hand comes up, palm faces towards you, and reaching up. Feel that stretch through the left side body. And then left arm comes down, elbow to the knee, or maybe hand to the floor if that's your normal practice. Reaching your right arm up and away overhead, making that long straight line through the right side body. And coming back up through warrior two again. And then exhaling, hands down, stepping back, lowering down, chaturanga or to the mat. Inhaling, up dog. Exhaling to downward dog. We'll steady the breath here. 5 even, smooth breaths. In through the nose, out through the nose. Make sure you're really pressing down into the bases of all the fingers. Head and neck is relaxed, look between your knees. Lifting the sit bones up and the heels drop down. The knees don't need to be completely straight for downward dog. You can have a little bend in the knee. And then coming forwards, next inhale, step, walk or jump the feet. Then halfway lift. Oops, forgot what I was doing there. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bending the knees, rising back up through that Utkatasana, and exhaling to the top. Great. Step out to the side, to your any side you like, right side normally, doesn't really matter. Hands on the hips. Inhale, we're going to lengthen up here. And then exhaling, coming forwards and down. Hands towards the mat. Take an extra inhale to lift and open up the chest a little. And then exhale, forwards and down. Let's take 3 breaths here. And being nice and active in this position. So legs are working towards being straight. So we're lengthening out the backs of the legs and the hamstrings. Thighs are active. Work with your belly. So every exhale, feel like you're drawing your lower belly in. And even sort of pushing your hands on the floor. Almost like pushing the floor away from you. So you can use a little bit of traction on the floor to get the body moving down into that wide leg forward fold position. Coming up from here, halfway lift, looking up. Exhale, hands on the hips. Inhale to come all the way up. Exhale, release the arms. Now we're going to turn the toes slightly outwards. Coming down into a goddess squat, if you're a lady. or a horse stance if you're a man, or depending if you want to feel a bit masculine or feminine, it doesn't really matter. So sink down, tailbone long, belly firm. Try and get the knees out in line with the toes. I'm not very good at that because my hips are naturally a bit tight, so my knees always tend to collapse in a little bit. But just do your best to really open out through the knees. And then bring the arms up to cactus arms position. Make a mudra with your fingers if you like, touching your index finger and your thumb. And sinking down into the hips, feeling strong in the legs. Steady breath. And then we're going to do a bit of movement with the arms here, so keeping low in the squat if you can. We're going to inhale to squeeze the shoulder blades together, open out the elbows a little bit more. And then exhaling, bring your elbows together, forearms to touch. Inhaling out. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhaling out. Exhale together. Last one. Exhale together. And then from here, just come up, push the arms up, stretching up through the arms and the shoulders, and then coming back into a forward fold. Another 3 breaths here. And working with your breath, so maybe every inhale you lengthen a little bit through the spine, and maybe every exhale you draw your lower abdominal area in, working with the core. 1 more breath. And then coming up from here, inhale, halfway lift, exhale, hands on the hips. Inhale to come all the way up, and then exhaling, just stepping back up to the top of your mat. Now we're going to come down to the floor through a little sequence, if I can remember what it was. So we're going to bend the knees into Utkatasana, that thunderbolt position or chair pose. So here we want to really sink down low into the hips. Lengthen the tailbone down towards the floor and reach up into the arms. If the back is achy, then hands on the hips is a good option. Arms up is really strong and strengthening for the back muscles, so just do what you feel. And if you're prone to really having a very arched lumbar spine, the bum sticks out a lot normally, you can work to just tuck the tailbone in a little bit and down. Or if you naturally have a sort of flat lumbar curve, then you can work to stick your bum out. So just finding whatever the midpoint would be for you. Now from here we're going to come down into a twisted chair pose. So bringing the hands into prayer position, bring your right elbow to the outside of your left knee and working into a spinal twist here. Use the elbow as a little bit of leverage against the knee. Just take 3 breaths here. Straightening up, push up through the arms again. Exhale to the other side. So left elbow comes down to the outside of right knee, twisting through the spine. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, hands down. Step, walk or jump back into your plank, coming through vinyasa, lowering down with control. Inhaling, upward dog or cobra. Exhaling to downward facing dog. Inhale, come back through into seated now and sitting down onto your mat. I'm going to come to Paschimottanasana, forward fold. It's hard work to talk. You guys aren't talking all the way through this, okay? Give me a break. All right, inhale to stretch up. And then exhale, coming forwards over the legs. Pick up the legs or ankles or toes, just whatever you can get, or you can use a belt or a strap. Inhale to lengthen the spine, open the chest a little more. And then exhaling, forward fold. And breathe. Steady the breath. Find any softness or ease where you can. So maybe just let go around the shoulders a touch. Relax the face, the neck. But keep the legs nice and active. Toes pulled towards you and belly drawing in, especially as you exhale. Last breath here. Now inhaling to come up. We're going to come straight into Parvattanasana, reverse plank position. So bring the hands back behind you, point the toes. We're going to lift the hips up here. So strong through the back of the body and strong into the shoulders as well. Really push the toes down towards the floor. Let the head drop back. Very nice and opening for the throat and the front of the neck. One more breath. And then coming down. And take a vinyasa. So squeeze the knees in towards the chest. We're rolling through into your plank position again, or chaturanga. Inhaling up. Exhaling back into downward dog. And then coming through back into seated. We're going to come into a little boat pose now, Navasana. Very strong for the core. Make sure your back feels comfortable throughout this. So any achiness in the back, just ease off, back off. Do whatever you need to do. And coming into your boat pose, it might look like this, 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 whatever you need. Steady breaths. Last breath here. I just had a little break in filming the video there because one of my clients came to the door a little bit early, so now I'm not out of breath anymore, which is quite nice. Okay, now we're going to come back through onto a plank position. So back into a plank, nice strong plank hold, and we're going to do a little bit of core work in this position now. So we're going to bring our right knee towards our right elbow on the exhale. Inhale, take it back. Exhale, right knee to left elbow. Inhale back. Exhale, right knee to right elbow again. Inhale back to the start, and then the left side same. Exhale, knee to left elbow, back, across the body to the right elbow, back, and then to the right elbow again. Left elbow again, and back. Do that once more on each side. So right leg, knee to right elbow, and back, across the body to the left elbow, and back. Exhaling to bring it up, and back, and then left side. Left knee to left elbow, inhale to take it back, exhale across the body, inhale back, exhale to the left, inhale back, and then drop down to your knees, and I think we deserve a little rest in a child's pose now. So just into your child's pose, whatever position works for you, maybe resting the head on the hands, or just head on the floor, arms back, just whatever feels good. And really steady and control the breath. Long deep breaths, in through the nose, out through the nose, relaxing the body. And then coming back up through another vinyasa, so back into your plank once again, lowering down chaturanga or the mat, inhaling up dog or cobra, and exhaling into downward facing dog, and then coming back through into seated now, and we're going to lie down onto our back. We're just going to do one round of a bridge position. You can do any bridge that you want, so if you're used to doing a full Urdhva Dhanurasana, then feel free, go ahead and lift up into your full back bend. Otherwise, we'll just do a nice low bridge, working to strengthen the glutes and the legs mainly. So tuck the tailbone under, lifting up the hips, the lower back, the middle back, upper back. Maybe interlacing the hands underneath the back if that feels good for your body. And if you want an extra little bit of a challenge here, we can come into a one-legged bridge. So we can take the weight down through one leg and stretch the other one up in the air. Keep working the bum muscle, keep working the glutes nice and strongly. Steady breath. And then change to the other side. Keep lifting the hips up. Use the glutes to take the pressure out of the back. One more breath. Take the legs down. Lift a little bit higher, both hips up. And then rolling down, upper back, middle back, lower back. Rolling down onto the floor. And bring your knees in towards your chest. Give them a squeeze. Roll them around. Massage your back muscles onto the floor. And then we're just going to finish with a spinal twist. So arms out to the sides. One of my favourites. Lovely position just to release tension at the end of any little session. Take your legs to the right. Head turns to the left. And you can just let your eyes close here. Take some really long, deep breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Trying to relax your body here. releasing any tension around the back or the waist, the abdominals. Also across the chest and the shoulders after all of those planks. And then legs to the other side. Roll the legs to the left, head to the right. Long, deep breaths. Relax your body. And come back into the middle. Squeeze your knees in towards your body one more time. If you want to give a little rotation through your arms and your wrists and your ankles, you can do that. Just letting go through the hands and the feet. And then we'll just come into a short relaxation now. So legs out away from the body, feet flopping out to the sides, arms away from the sides of the body, palms turned to face up, fingers really loose. Just get the head and neck in a nice comfortable position. And then take a full inhale in through the nose. And then a big exhale out through the mouth. A big sigh out of the mouth. Do that one more time. Fully in through the nose. Fully out through the mouth. And now just allow your breath to settle back to its natural resting rhythm, allowing it to slow down in its own time, and just allowing your body, your muscles, to let go of all that effort, and allowing your cells to absorb all the energy that we've created through our movement, taken in through our breath, the prana, the energy. Just let everything feel heavy and loose. Feel your whole body is dropping, sinking down, fully supported by the floor beneath you. And then just gradually start to move again through your fingers and your toes, hands and feet, arms and legs. Just giving everything a wiggle, everything a little stretch. Just move again however you feel. And bring your knees into your chest, roll them around. And then bring yourself back up into seated just whenever you're ready. My yoga studio is outside, just beside a train line here, so I don't know if you can hear the trains going past frequently, but I hope it's not too disturbing of the videos. And my next class is about to come in, so we'll finish off before somebody barges in through the door. Bring your hands together and close your eyes and just take a little bow to yourself for putting this little bit of effort into your practice, into your body, into yourself today. Namaste. Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed that little practice. And I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.